Yetik Nefesh on page 3 for Elul. Yetik Nefesh Harahaman, Yetik Nefesh Harahaman, Mishavadeka, El Ritzonecha, Mishavadeka, la 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 la, El Ritzonecha.
Shabbat Shalom. We are in another sacred space, and it is sacred because we are in it. And so as we join together this Shabbat, again, thank you for the social hall. I want to welcome all of you on live stream and everybody who is here in the sanctuary, in the social hall. Everyone who comes out like they have been gone all summer and really have been, and everyone who comes out like they've been gone all summer because Jam and Jews are here, and they really have not been. So it is nice for everyone to be together. I want to thank Gary, and I want to thank Greg for sound and for air conditioning and for setting everything up. I want to thank Jason Palmer for serving not only as our greeter this evening, but giving announcements as representative of our Board of Trustees. To the only 5 people that are new tonight, welcome, and it is nice to have you. And to those of you who are joining us for the first time during the month of Elul, that is why we are in the gold prayer books. So take a chance at any point to really leaf through the pages. There's poetry in there that is not usually there in our other prayer books. There are songs like the one we just did, and there are beautiful moments of reflection, all of which you can engage in, even if I tell you to rise and turn to a different page. So we are going to begin on page 10. It is my honor to invite up Allison, Maya, and Eliora Bean. I think I saw just Ellie, which is great. So we're going to invite up Maya and Eliora. No, Allison and Eliora, in honor of Allison's birthday. Page 10. Circle 3 times as we join in this blessing.
Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah of Shabbat.
Now we join together on page 12 for the leading of Kiddush. It is heavy, so you can hold it or stand next to it, and we join together for these words.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei urim ha'kamen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavayu. Shabbat Shalom, Be'ahava u'ratzon, Ibilanu, Zikaron le'maaseh b'reishit, Kibuyot te'neilah, le'nira'ei kodesh, Eretz Tziyat,
We continue now with the singing of Lachadodi on page 22.
Shabbat,
page 24 for the chanting of the Hatzi Kaddish.
Okay. Yikada, yikada, shemei rabba. Yamad rocker, taming out like Malkute. Vechaye, hon of Yom, Melon. Ukayet, el Beit Yisrael.
As we turn to page 26, we prepare to enter into prayer. You might have thought the last 15 minutes was that, but as we get to our call to worship, I invite you to please rise if you're able with the words of the Baruch. Her request, we let out that deep breath to get rid of the weak. Sometimes I think I'm the only one exhaling audibly, but let's all try it. Take a deep breath in and really let go. 2 people, everyone. Oh, yes, Linda, thank you for the emphasis. As we move into the Shema, it not only allows us to unify as one humanity, but to truly unify within our own selves. Sometimes, many, if you're like me, feel like a head walking without a body, or a body walking without a head, or a heart that's somewhere over here and a left hand over here. This prayer reminds us we have to really try to be one within ourselves so that we can go out into the world and truly be one people. And so, for the words of the Shema on page 32, immediately followed with the words of the Ve'ahavta, it is my honor to voluntold Ansley, Sevi, Tova, Isaac, Eliora, and Leora, all of our B'nai Mitzvah students and immediate past, to please come up and lead with me in the Shema and the Ve'ahavta, and are not yet been able to vote see. Called you by name, but call you again. Isaac. It's pretty amazing as you send 26 to camp, and this week and last week, we got already 11 of our kids at services, and I'm not asking them to be here, so thank you guys for being here. I am asking them to do do this. But, so we're going to begin with the Shema. I invite everyone to please close your eyes, cover your eyes, or get to a place that you will feel at one as we join in these words.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzvatecha hayom ha'alecha v'shimatam levanecha v'hikmartam bam v'shivtecha b'techa u'lechtecha b'derech u'shavtecha u'ikumecha u'shartam le'avot ayadecha v'hayu letotavot b'neinecha u'ktartam al mezuzot beitecha u'bisharecha.
Page 36.
Ve'lam tizkeru v'asiten b'kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elokechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti atem be'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
That was more side eyes than I've ever received in my life. You may be seated. We continue now with the Jamming Jews, leading us on page 40 with the singing of Mi Chamocha. Cool breeze ease the heat of the day. All things settle into stillness. Gentle song of crickets, moonrise, and the silence of night. Give us shelter in your presence. Bring peace to those who yearn for peace. Enfold us in your quiet. Let our fears find rest in you. As we celebrate Shabbat's arrival, we turn to page 46 and join in the singing of the Shamra. Turn now to page 48. I invite you to please rise if you are able as we join in the words of the Amidah.
Adonai sefatati ufi aditehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Bekonei HaKol, V'zocher HaSeach B'Imahot, Umevi Yunalim Nevnechem, L'man Shemo Le'ah, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach Magim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magei Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mekayeh HaKol Atah L'Moshicha, Mohori Atah, Mekayeh Hayim B'Chesed, Mekayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Someh Elohim Mirovei Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Emunato, Lishnei Afar, Michamocha Bargurot, Umidomech Melech Mevi Tumachayeh, Uhasli Yeshua, Remanat HaChayot
Zakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh, Shemcha kadosh, Kedoshim b'kol yom l'chalu haselah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated. We turn to page 68. The cheers. As we think of our prayers of gratitude said in Hebrew, it's so important that we say it in whatever language we most can express our gratitude in, whether it's singing with the German Jews, whether it is saying it out loud and sharing with the community what you're grateful for, or whether it's just taking a quiet moment inside yourself. There is so much that we have in our lives that truly are blessings. So if there is something that you would like to share at this time, I ask that you just raise your hand. I will repeat it because our live stream congregation cannot hear you, and maybe some others in the sanctuary as well. Yes, Terry.
Okay. I have so much to be grateful for. I'm so glad I'm back, everybody. But I reached out, I got the email, and I'm familiar with Gulf Coast Jewish Family Services. And financially and stuff hasn't been that great. I'm thankful I have a really understanding landlord I've had about 3 years. But Gail, I emailed and went through some things, and she did a donation on my electric bill because it was going to be turned off, and I just gave him $100. But $171. And God, am I thankful. I'm so thankful.
Terry, we're so glad you're back. Terry shared that she's grateful that she has an understandable landlord, and that Florida Gulf Coast has been very helpful, and that for every good thing that has gone on that you have given to this community, they have given back, and that you're able to be here tonight, not just physically, but very much with us. So I'm so glad.
Me too.
Yes, Gideon.
Yeah, so I code that this year falls on my parents' 39th thing.
I think they're coming here for it? So Gideon shared that his parents' 39th wedding anniversary is going to be the night of Slichot, and he's grateful for that. And I'm not sure they're coming here to celebrate, but I have a feeling 2 rabbis might show up here on Slichot for an anniversary. So that's great. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm grateful that every 6 weeks, especially this week, Donna was able to walk in without any.
Oh, that's amazing.
And all that happens to it in our household, and all the prayers that everyone gave her.
So I don't know if you noticed, Donna walked in unassisted tonight, and after 6 weeks, thank God she is here, and they said thank you to the congregation and all their friends for prayers, and we're just so glad, really, so wonderful. Yeah, Patrick. Awesome. Patrick said he's grateful for his nephew for teaching him, who's 4, that we learn from that mistakes are good because we always learn from them. Absolutely. Yes, please. Charlie.
I'm very grateful that tomorrow is
Exactly. Tomorrow's Shelley's birthday. I knew. You'd get a call, but you just got a shout out from the whole congregation. Happy birthday. Yeah, please.
I'm very grateful to be visiting out of town and to have gotten here safely so I could spend more time with my grandparents.
Well, we're so glad you're here. We hear about you guys every week, but when you're here, it's even more special. So this is one of Jackie's granddaughters, and she said that she's grateful that she's here to be able to be with her grandma and to get here safely and to be visiting us from out of town. We're really glad you're here. Yes, please.
I'm grateful for having the opportunity to take the chanting course.
Oh, he is grateful to have the opportunity to take Rebecca's chanting course. My favorite is how it is just pronounced so many different ways. Cantillation. Cantillation. Trope. Well, I cannot wait to hear everyone chant. Everyone. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're doing that. Yes, please, Ben.
Yes, I'm pretty grateful for this Sunday where anyone who wants to, the choir and others are doing a sing-along at the Benjamin Tower. I did it all once before, and it was a wonderful experience. It really made me feel that we could be a part of healing the world.
I love that. So Ben mentioned that the Pamela Siskin Memorial Choir is going to be singing at Benjamin Towers this weekend on Sunday, but it's open to everyone who wants to come. And to Ben, he said it felt like he really could be part of repairing the world. I want to just mention, I know that I saw that Dahlia works there during the week, and got to lead Shabbat last week for the residents, and I heard you did an incredible, incredible job. For all of our congregants that get to walk into those doors, we are in holy space when we go to their homes. And so as we look at getting older and we look at how we want to be treated, I just can't wait to hear how Sunday goes, because we are so lucky to have those who are older than us, who are, and Jackie too. What are you pointing at, Jackie? I thought you meant Jackie, who was older than us. Jackie, you are not. We know that. Bonet is just getting feisty. I know you're grateful for your granddaughter being here, Jackie. Beautiful. I know you are. Yes, please. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cancer-free. Thank God. I don't know if you remember hearing that last year, that we were praying for you to be cancer-free, and now you are, and I'm glad your dad is out of the hospital. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you. And Jackie shared that her granddaughter looks just like Jackie's daughter. And that's so nice to have that. Yes, Shelley, you're going for a second round.
Yeah. I texted any confusion. The normal life where Dolly volunteers is next to
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. It's the tall building, 58th Street, actually it's independent living. So what Benjamin Tower, and I hope you'll all come. I live there.
Thank you for the clarity. Yes. You can go visit people at both, though. I will be real honest. I was there last Shabbat visiting lots of people, and it was very fun. Yes, Bruce.
Many of you know, Theo and I are grateful to have experienced Central Synagogue in Manhattan for the first time last Friday night, and there's a positive spin on that. We're grateful to have experienced the love and the caring and the compassion by the congregants, and especially by the clergy, as well as to be protected by security and police that handled it in a beautiful way. And it was a beautiful service.
So with a lot of smaller ears, I'm just going to acknowledge that Bruce and Theo were at Central Synagogue last Shabbat, some of you might recall, and that they're grateful for not only our community, but the community there. And Bruce shared that they just had a beautiful service, that after the disruption, they were able to still maintain a sense of Shabbat and of Shalom, and so not only thankful for their security, but also for our security that's here. And we're so glad you guys are okay. Yes?
I'm grateful that my grandson is here tonight.
Oh, I love it. And who's that grandson? Do you know what's kind of funny? She said she's grateful her grandson is here tonight, and I said, which grandson? Isaac is sitting over here in this corner, but close enough, sitting with his grandpa. Isaac went to camp this summer for the first time. Bonet.
I'm grateful that I got a lab result that started with the word benign, and I don't remember anything
Thank
else
God.
with that word.
A benign lab result. Thank God. Yes. Oh, yes, please.
I'll just like to say that I'm not grateful. I've been studying and practicing to become a nurse for a couple of months for my life partner, Tracy, in regard to an upcoming hip operation that she had a week ago, and she hasn't given me a chance to help her.
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm going to try to be as funny as you are. My delivery will not be the same. He said he's not grateful because he's been training to be a nurse for his partner who had hip surgery, and for the entire week that she's doing okay, she won't let him do any nursing. So we're so glad you're okay, Tracy. Fun texting this week. Anybody else? Okay, you can keep it inside. We are going to mark all these moments as holy by inviting God into them in the form of a prayer. So page 68 at the bottom, we join together in Hebrew and then in English. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'ocha na'eh lehodot. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose goodness deserves thanks and praise. Amen. We join together on page 66 for our prayer for peace. Shalom. John, I really just thought your guitar was an alert over here. It sounds beautiful. We turn our thoughts now to those who are in need of healing, those of us in this room, those of us in our lives and in this world. We begin with the names of those who we've been asked to read, and then I'll invite you to add any names of those you're thinking of out loud or in your hearts. This week, we continue to think of Henry Boffman, George Cohen, Sarah Gastman, Terry Gilmer, Cindy Little, Lance Lubin, Ellis Maldonado, Frida Markey, Steve Trayman, Patty Bregman, Michael Buchholz, Hillary Kavanaugh, Alan Fischel, Jordana Fuller, Lori Gordon, Peggy Kosterlitz, Susan Nash, Jerry Peters, Mitchell Salvador, Stan Silverberg, Jesse Turden, and Marcia Turkin. If you'd like to add any names to this list, I ask that you do so as my hand passes where you are seated. For all those names said out loud and in our hearts, we turn to page 77 for the words of Misha Beth-El.
Bless the ones before us. renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We take a few moments for silent meditation, and we'll join together again on page 74 in a moment with the singing of Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom, be from us. Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom Aleinu, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu,
Always so wonderful to share the Bima with the Jammin' Jews, with my old camp friend Barbara Marin, with John Rosenbluth, and with Douglas Lichterman. I know that we are all looking forward to the high holidays in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and we'll be joined, I know, the two of us are twitching, but the rest of you can sit back comfortably. But I'm so glad that you'll be joining Joyce and myself for so much of the high holidays. This week's Torah portion is called Ki Titzeh. And this morning I spoke a little bit about the very last sentence of the Parsha, but I'm going to go back up to the top because that's where we're going to start. In this week's Torah portion, we received 74 of the commandments out of the 613. So imagine someone, maybe you can think of this very quickly in your life, saying, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, with the finger wagging. Anyone have that image in their head? Yeah, I see a lot of yeses. Or maybe they were saying, go do this, go do this, go do this, but we aren't as good at that one. But imagine over and over and over again, the commandments start getting expressed. What's amazing about most of the commandments in this week's Parsha, though, is that it has to do with how we treat each other. It actually has very little to do with how we observe our Judaism ritually, very little to do with how we treat our own bodies or the ways in which we observe our faith. It literally has to do with when you see something. What does the phrase say? When you see something?
Say something.
You're all right to that question, but this week's Torah portion says when you see something, do something. This week's Torah portion talks all about how we have to be upstanders. And we've spoken about that before on Shabbat, but really this Parsha, unlike any other one, say when you see something, you better go do something about it. It talks about if you see an animal that has left your neighbor's farm, when you see that someone is in need of food, when you see that someone's orphaned, see someone that's in need of anything, that it is actually our responsibility, in these words, a mitzvah, not a good deed, a commandment, to go do those things. So the very beginning of this Parsha, Vayetze, actually means when you go out. And I want us to think about that there can be many meanings when you go out. The main one I often think about comes from the Reshit, the second Torah portion, the third Torah portion, Lech Lecha, and it says go out from the home that's your home, go out to the land, leave the land of your father, and the reflexive verb says go on to yourself. But that's also why I want to look at this Torah portion, because not only does it say when you go out, and you see all these things around you, do something about it. It says when you go out and it makes you feel a certain way, do something about it. How many times when you see something, I'm going to give a real clear example. Driving to temple tonight, we passed by 3 different people asking for food. Is that a common thing that you see? It's pretty common. I actually find it much less common here in Pinellas than I found in Miami-Dade, but it is still, obviously, there are food insecure, there are people without homes. Judaism says, what do you think? Feed them, take care of them, nourish them, bring them into your home, give them food. One of the reasons that Gary bags up our own egg every Friday night is so we can take that food and we don't have to drive by someone. Not because we want to drive by and we don't want to help someone, but often we don't have those items with us. But when it says when you go out, it also means when you go out, you're a representative of not only yourself, but of your family, of this community, of the Jewish people, of those who love the Jewish people, and of those just in a part of humanity. So when we go out this Shabbat, and frankly, really every day that we're blessed enough to wake up, when we go out into this world, how do we make sure that we do something? We just sang a prayer, Oseh Shalom. And Oseh Shalom the word Oseh comes from the Hebrew verb la'asot. I know we have 2 Israelis in the congregation, so someone else tell me, what does the verb la'asot mean? No, you are the Israeli, not even looking at you, not even looking. La'asot is to do or to make. It is an action. So we're singing, do peace. What does that even mean? It doesn't even sound like proper language, right? Go do peace. It is an activity. Jews are told that we are not just people of the book. You heard that phrase before? We're people of action. To be a part of the congregation that is so, I really will say this, is so driven by their social justice, by their action. We just met this week. To know that so many things we do because it's the right thing to do. We don't do it for flags to be raised. We don't do it for names to be in the paper. We don't even do it for someone to say thank you. We do it because we're supposed to do it. A lot of being Jewish is we do it because we're supposed to do it. Now I can imagine for some of you, you're thinking, yeah, like when I had to go to Sunday school when I was growing up, or I had a bar about mitzvah, right? I did it because I had to do it. My parents said, you had to do it. And they were right. Because there's a lot of things that our parents, that our teachers tell us that we should do because we have to do them. Because that's how you exist in a humanity. That's how you are responsible and a part of the human race. And so this Shabbat, I'm going to ask you to go out and to not only do peace, but to do something. And no matter what you have, we can all do something. No matter what resources, actual, metaphorical, emotional, spiritual, we can all do something. When we sat in the gratitude moment, so many people thanked our congregation for what we've done while they weren't able to do much. And I can't imagine picking up the phone to ask someone how they're feeling feels as big as giving someone a home when they need it. But for some who have the resources that can give a home, that's amazing they do it. And for the rest of us, there's a lot we can still do. So I hope that this Shabbat we're reminded by the words of Kiteitzeh. We must go out, we must see, we must do, and we must be. Not just because we're Jewish, not just because the Torah tells us, but because we want to be active human beings in this world. And that truthfully, in our faith, God depends on us on earth to do a great deal of partnering with God's needs. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to continue with a hug. Yes, that's okay. With a reprise.
Oh, I forgot.
I know, that's what I'm telling you.
It's reprising a song that we skipped, actually.
What? Tell me after service, so we should, I would love that. I would like to call up Dahlia Scott and Rebecca Bransick to open the Ark. This evening's oneg is sponsored by the family in memory of Rebecca's mother and grandfather, Diane and William. I invite the congregation to turn to page 78 and please rise if you are able.
Later the Shabbat la Don ha-kol, la take la yosef sheet, shelo hasan pege haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot hadaman, shelo samhaim nahem, vegor aleinu kehol hamonam, va'anachnu Umishtahavim umodim Lifnei melech Malchei Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai Lemelech al haaretz Bayom hahu Bayom hahu Yeh Ushema, Ushema, Ushema,
You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer physically with us, but who are in our lives so many different ways and so many different times. This week, we are thinking of Brian Landry, whose family's in the Shloshim, 30 days of their mourning. And we add to Brian's name those who are observing a Yortzeit, the yearly anniversary of their passing. We think of Sheila P. Agassi, Diane Burney, Jack Revda, Sam Cohan, Arthur Collins, Esther Kahns, William Dimenstein, Diane Dimenstein Harris, Helen Dubois, Melvin Barkin Estroff, Irving Finkelstein, Max N. Faldauer, Marjorie Gillert, Jenny Gladstone, Betty Glacier, Sanford Goldman, Max Goodkind, Lloyd Gottesman, Henry Louis Halperin, Isaac Holtzman, Pearl Kahn, Saul Lane, Emma Lebensberger, Chayalea Levine, Louis Lubovitz, Ida Frankel Loengard, Joseph N. Marco, Jeffrey Mossoff, Louis Moyer, Yelena Rabinovich, George D. Reingold, Faye Robbins, Anna Rothenbender, Ted Roseman, Mel Rosenberg, Milton Rosenberg, Reba Salzer, Sarah Samuels, David Schleifer, Maybell Silver, Max Stern, Howard Squires, Milton Ullman, and Robert Joseph Waxman. I invite you to say the names of any of those who you're thinking of, or if I mispronounce your loved one's name, I'll ask that you say that again out loud.
Howard J. Lichterman.
Rise as one community and join in the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 86. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Ya'amad yivrach v'ritei v'yamlich ma'utei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'adalam v'zman karib v'imru. Yehei shemei Rabbah v'varach le'olam ha'omei maya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzbohar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei v'kudusha le'elam mikol birchata v'shivata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran ve'alma v'yimru Yehei shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing and a lesson, and let us say, Amen. You may be seated. I invite up Jason Palmer to offer some words of announcements that you can follow along in your Shabbat Spotlight, as well as a greeting from the Board of Trustees.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. So pleased that everyone can be with us this evening. The announcements are in the brochure. I'll go ahead and just highlight a few of them. On Saturday, August 22nd at 10 a.m., we're going to have a shofar sounding workshop. So we invite anyone to please attend that. On Monday, August 24th and Wednesday, August 26th at 7 p.m., we're going to have a Torah cancellation class on Zoom. So please join us. And if you don't have the, if you'd like to attend, you don't know where the Zoom link is, please contact the office. We'll be able to share the Zoom link.
Sure.
Good. Wednesday, August 26th at 10:45 a.m., we're having book club. And on Friday, August 28th, 5:30, we're having early Oneg at 5:30, and 6 p.m. will be Erev Shabbat services next week. I also invite you to look in the book at the upcoming events. Since we have little ones here, I'll mention just one. On Saturday, September 5th, we're having the mini minyan. So that's 10 a.m. to 11:30. So I'm going to invite you to please look at the other ones in the brochure. Shabbat Shalom and have a nice evening.
For those of you who are not the little ones, I'd like to call your attention to Real Good Sukkot at Mullets. We have a 21 plus event that we're so excited to have. Have ever been to Mullets? Just raise your hand. Best chicken wings, so good. Their backyard is a huge sukkah. So I'll bring the lulav and etrog, and we will have appetizers. Everyone can get a drink ticket, and hopefully we'll just have a very nice time together. So I hope you'll join us for that as well. So to do Motzi, I'd like to ask all of our pre-B'nai Mitzvah students to come up. Solstice and Skylar, let's get all of our friends up here. Solstice, you want to come? Watch that. All right, come stand in front of the candles, guys. Come here. Come over here, Solstice. All right, we're going to please rise. Don't eat it, though. Not yet, not yet. Rotzi, Baruch Adonai, Elohim melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, Shabbat Shalom. And while you guys are passing that out, I am going to do one blast of the shofar. We hear the shofar every Friday of Elul. And we join together in singing of Birkat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I see Philip.